So here we are, another stupid evening in a stupid place. You got some cherries, you got fresh water. So what your body needs, you take 2 showers. Don't be lazy. You gotta start cracking down on you guys. I heard some of you guys aren't fresh. You gotta be fresh. You gotta be fresh. Fresh isn't an option. So anyways, we're here. Kind of tired now, kind of crashing. Here's what it is. Maybe I need some water. Maybe I need some soda. Should I get some soda? Should I get some Dr. Pepper? No. So we're here. We're smoking a cigar called the Middleman Cigar Era by Middleman Cigars. I don't know if the company was Middleman or Cigar Era. I looked that up. It's not much information about this cigar. We got Middleman Cigars, and we got Scarface on there. Now, I'm not going to say that's a copyright infringement, but that's a copyright infringement right there. So shout out. I guess it's such a small new boutique company. It definitely is small. I was looking at this online, and they said they have 13 cigars available for singles. And as far as, I think, 5-packs or boxes. So it's definitely a unique, very small thing going on, which is kind of cool. And I wish them the best, and I wish them success. But if the cigar does get popular, my thinking is, I can't say exactly if that's, I can't say exactly if that's Al Pacino, but if, I don't know, that's, as far as the cigar, it looks like 6x54. That's a 6x54. If this is a 52, maybe it's a 52. I think more it's a 54. I feel like it's a 54. I got big hands, so I think it's 50. Not much information. I can't even tell you the blend. Supposedly, the website says rolled by master blender in Dominican Republic. It's got a single cap. So what wrapper is it? What's the filler binder? Pleasant smell of the foot. I don't know. There's not one single review on this cigar in the world. I couldn't find anything on YouTube. I couldn't find anything on the internet. So, is it that new or is it that bad? I think it's that new, If a cigar's been out for a year and no review, maybe it's just not marketed or nobody cares. It is what it is. Okay. Initial aromatics is quite nice. If the aromatics smell nice, generally it's going to taste good. Now, I let this out for a while. When I first got it, it was over a day dry boxing, and that was about a week ago. And then today I took it out about 5 hours ago, so it's definitely not moist. The band can slide. The band's sliding, okay? The wrapper is like a light medium brown, and the wrapper's not super thick, so be careful on the wrapper not to damage it. I gotta get away from the wind, and we got this toasted up enough, and now let's get puffing on the next match. That's it. A broken match. Okay. The drawer is extremely open. Okay. The drawer is immensely open. That is an open drawer. Some people might say almost too much open. It's the kind of thing when you go on a date and she's a pretty girl and she invites you home and you can't feel nothing. The drawer is too loose. But I gotta say this. They really played with lightning on this one because for such a loose open drawer, it still pulls. That's the trade-off. The more you open that drawer, it might not have enough torque to pull it. It pulls. Off the bat, it's medium strength. Off the bat, it's not bad. Off the bat, it's not a strong cigar. That's a medium strength cigar. Medium kind of means in the middle, right? It's actually a long, sticky finish. The blend is comfortable, but yet still semi-unique. It's not going to feel like something it's a concept that doesn't make you remind you of anything, but it's not going to remind you of a lot of cigars. As far as the aging on it, it doesn't feel like shit, and it doesn't feel edgy, so the tobacco has good age on it. But also they're not using extremely high primies on this. Also, it is probably loosely packed for such an open drawer, and it feels very light for its size. And it's a 54, it looks like, maybe 52. It feels like a 54. So it's very light for size. It's definitely not using all the Hero priming, so let's see. Okay. I like this cigar. I don't love it. I like it though. There's a difference. Love is a very strong word, so I don't just throw out a cigar lightly if I love it. Like is strong as well though. Not as strong as love, but I think that's a good cigar. I think it's quite tasty. I think it has good character. I think if you like a cigar with semi-sweetness, sticky semi-sweetness, with a good amount of nuttiness. I mean, it is a very nut-driven cigar. If you like cigars that are very nutty, you're gonna like that. If you don't like cigars that are nutty, you're not gonna like this. There's a very little black pepper spice. I mean, that's a very nutty cigar. Almost too much, but hey, if you're in that kind of mood, it feels like a mid-tier cigar. I don't know I do know the price point. The $13 I'm seeing online. At that price point, factoring in it's a boutique cigar, I'd say it's a good stick at that price. If you got this for even cheaper, now we're talking something different. But $13 boutique is kind of like probably $8 or $9 full release if it's a bigger company like General or Tatus. You got to understand when it comes to boutique stuff, if it's very small batch, and they're not making it, somebody else is going to make it, and so there's more people. There's another middleman, and someone's got to make money, and so it is what it is. But I have no problem supporting a boutique brand to getting out there as long as they're not, intensely gouging. And I think $13 is fair for a good heavy Robusto, and for a boutique brand, for something you're getting that's very different or unique. And I say the profile and the band is something different, something good if you're into Scarface or Al Pacino or the 80s, or just something cool. I respect what they did there. Now we're gonna come back and we're gonna see if it changes up or if it stays formulaic. I got a feeling I might pick up a string. We're at medium plus right now. Alright, so the black pepper is getting just slightly stronger. The cigar right there became a heavier medium plus. Right there. A very, very creamy coffee note. So, the blend is quite nice. Tons of nuts. And a creamy coffee note, and the black pepper spices pick it up. But the way it's doing it, being the profile is so nut heavy, it's a giant sack, and the spice is more in the background. That's unique. That's unique. I got nothing bad about say about it. I would say right now this is a good cigar. For me, it wouldn't be like a great cigar, but a great cigar is for me is a very, very higher rating. When I say something's good, that means it's worth smoking. You know, so it is good. I'm enjoying it, and the flavor's long, sticky, sweet. If you're looking for cigars that this is only like 60% of the darkness. If you're looking for cigars that are on the darker side, no. If you're looking for cigars that are very heavy or very earthy or very spicy, no. So I always recommend a cigar and recommend why not to smoke it too. Because some guys just don't listen. So yeah, because they just say, oh, Richard said it was good. And they go, yeah, but it wasn't that strong. Or it wasn't that spicy. So I have to cover why not to smoke this. And I do that in every video. Why you should try it out. If you want something that's pretty smooth, pretty unique, a very extremely nutty cigar, I'd say that sweetness kind of feels like a toffee, like a caramel. It's quite nice. We're gonna go and come back. So I would say a good recommendation on this. As of right now, the early entry. As of right now, I'm saying just all across the board of 4.2. It's a good cigar. It's interesting. It's not boring. And if you want something that's a fun medium strength cigar, medium plus right now, we're gonna come back. Okay, so we're back. The instructions are fine. Drawers open. Burn's been good. It's gonna need a touch up though. So let's drop that ash. Also, once it needed a touch up, I was on the phone and I was talking for a while, so I did just let it go out. I had an important phone call, FaceTime. So, but yeah, my daughter called me. So when my kid calls me, everything else stops. As far as the cigar, up to that point, flavor's been medium plus. Flavors stayed kind of the same. It didn't get any stronger. It didn't go to medium full. So I hope it would go a little stronger, but that's okay. That's just my preference. But the blend's been good. But the downside I would say about this though, and I'll tell you this, because of the draw being so open that it's extremely open, that as you're drawing, needs a little more fire. Did I really run out of matches? No, I'll just chug on it. That was my last match. Shit. Yeah. Chain that one in. As I was smoking, I noticed that the smoke felt hotter than normal. And I think that's due to the very open draw. And it wasn't like the cigar was burning hot, but the smoke felt hot, which is, I'm very observant. So it wasn't like a negative thing, but with the drawers so open, it was transferring heat higher than normal. Not at an abnormal range, but just something to keep aware of. Now, being that this is really a small batch that you could get, you're probably not going to find this or smoke it or see it anywhere in these stores. There's 13 sticks left in the world, I guess, to order. So, I mean, it is still cool to see someone put something out. Did I think this was a good cigar? Yeah. Did I think it was a great cigar? No. But a good cigar is still a good cigar. People think when I say something's good, it's just, no, it's a good cigar. A good cigar at 4.2 it's worth smoking. No major spice to report. So if you're looking for something really spicy, it's not that kind of party. You gotta eat fruit. Eat fruit at night. Stop eating bad things. Here's what it is. Smoke Up is good. Very nutty cigar. Semi-sweet as well. So that was nice about it. Very mild black pepper. Oh, since we left before in the first part of the video, I'd say a major thing that did come into the cigar and still affecting the cigar is floral notes. And I mean a lot of floral notes. So, floral notes I don't think are so a good or a bad thing. I think it comes down to preference. So, if you want something that's very nutty, mild in spice, slightly sweet, and with a lot of floral notes, if you hold the smoke and you enjoy that kind of nuances, you're gonna like the stick. If you're looking for something traditional, it's not gonna be up your alley. It doesn't feel like a traditional any cigar. It's slightly different enough to say it's unique. I'm not gonna say it's exotic, but because of such a small batch, and whoever made this, the blend they chose, or whatever tobacco they had, it's unique enough. So it's not going to go against the grain where you're like, oh, I don't know if I should try it. So I think it has a slightly bit of mystique to the cigar. It's going to challenge your palate and your mind to be like, what the hell am I smoking? And the aromatics are quite nice. So as far as the overall the cigar, I have nothing bad to say about it, and that's a good thing because I'm a really hard judge on cigars. I'm not going to just say something's bad and lie to you. So there's nothing bad to say about the cigar. That's a good thing. The way it works though, when I review cigars, picture money, and picture what's that money represents time, but another word for time is, how you look at it, is sin. And the more you sin, the more you're going to need to be forgiven. So the more a cigar asks, the harder I'm going to judge it. If you're asking $10 versus $20, I'm going to judge the $20 cigar harder. Kind of like a sliding scale. You say, well, why would you do that? Well, because the money's a sliding scale. If all cigars were the same price, $5, then a Punch Classico versus Opus, you would say, wow, who the hell would smoke a Punch? But when you factor in that sliding scale, you say, Punch is a great cigar, and for $5 is a really good deal. And I promise you, you're never going to get Opus X for $5. The Opus X is going to cost you more time, more sin. So if something's going to cost you more time, more aggravation. Unless you're just a trust fund baby and like, where you're doing OnlyFans, and that's another level of sin. Then you have to judge it harder. Unless if you say your time is worthless. So it doesn't mean you can't smoke an expensive cigar, or it doesn't mean you can't enjoy a cigar. I do. But you have to be aware and say, if you're charging me more, I better be getting more, and it better be outperforming stuff at a lower price point. And that is something that I've kind of got down to a science. Not that many people do it or want to think about it. This at $13, because it's boutique and I know the price is going to be higher than where it should be, I give it a little grace. Because if I compare this to the Golden Era or the El Rey del Mundo, those are superior cigars. But at $13 for a very small batch boutique, kind of in your mind you're thinking, well, boutique cigar is added cost, it's limited production. This would be a very good $8-9 cigar. $13 cigar, if it was just against regular $13 cigar, regular production, there's a lot of them that I could say that would beat this cigar. But compared to like in that small batch boutique world, well, that's a different game. It really is. Because if you're a gigantic company and you could buy millions of pounds of tobacco and you have hundreds of rollers and tons of warehouses where you can afford to age tobacco and let it sit, versus a guy that's like, yeah, I'm gonna make 500 cigars, and that's you understand what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's still a cigar, and we have to just smoke it. So how was the cigar? I thought it was a good cigar. I thought 4.2 was a solid rating. And factoring the price, I feel it's good for the price. Especially it's good for the price compared to very small batch or almost shop cigars, where it's such a small production. Like one shop might have it as their house cigar. If I was just comparing it to a house cigar, it is very good for a house cigar. Compared to regular production, where you're getting My Father, LFD, higher end Punch, Golden Era, etc., El Rey's, Aging Room, Altadas, Sonatas, $13 I could have. Oliva V Maduros. Now those cigars are much more serious. But those cigars are coming from like billion-dollar companies. You get a lot of money. They're making a lot of money. So they can give you more for your money. Small batch can't, but what small batch can do is give you something that no one's making. And I feel like some of these small batch companies, they start small and they test the market and they work out, and they start becoming a little more bigger on the boutique side, and who knows, maybe a bigger company buys them out or whatever. But you marry the guy that makes your cigars. That's what Tatuaje did. Tatuaje married, Pete Johnson married Don Pepin's daughter. That was a smart business move. He secured his tobacco. That's, and God bless him, but that's a strategic move. The guy that gets your cigars, your tobacco, and you're like, I appreciate you making these cigars for me, but maybe if I marry your daughter, I can get a better price on the tobacco. Now I'm your son. We're family. So as far as this company, it is a good product. It's not a great product. There's a difference. Greatness has to be achieved, and that's a high bar. But good is good enough, and it's a good cigar. And it's definitely enjoyable. I don't just throw out great. So don't think I'm shitting on a cigar by any means. If it was great, I'd tell you, but it's a solid, good cigar. So if you see them, you want to check one out, or get a 5-pack, enjoy it. Support a very small operation, and check it out. Open up your taste buds to something probably haven't tried before. But it's a good cigar. Tons of floral notes, slightly sweet, very nutty. I mean, one of the nuttiest cigars I've had in a long time. Slightly creamy, really smooth. The finish was good, but that's all I have to talk about. I think we're done. I'm a hard judge of tobacco, but I'm a fair judge. So, it is what it is. Middleman Cigar Era, 4.2, a reliable, good cigar. That for a boutique price, it's worth it. Compared to larger corporations, which could give you more for your money, no, those ones could give you more. So it is what it is with that. But that's a factor, so. It is what it is. We're done here. I'll see you around. You stay fresh. Richie's tired. I'm gonna get some sleep.